in the sleepy little town of Laguna here in New Mexico. Route 66 runs right through it. This is probably the biggest part of it, the most popular spot. It's the 66 pit stop and the world famous Laguna Burger, as they say. I'm not going to get a chance to check it out. I'll just take their word that their burgers are world famous. This runs right next to the I-40, but it's a great jumping off point if you come here to drive part of Route 66. You can get off here, and Route 66 still exists in this spot. Some places the I-40 has just obliterated it, but here Route 66 still exists. So we're going to drive part of it, but first let's look at a little bit more of the little sleepy town of Laguna. While there's certainly new buildings and houses built here in Laguna, what attracts me are these really old ones. Just off Route 66, you can hear the cars buzzing by as they go by. Look at the structure on this. The one part's made out of wood, and this other one over here looks like it's made of rock with maybe adobe put over it. That is just really interesting. They've got a little cholla bush here in the corner. That's pretty interesting. I like the desert plants. And just across the road is another abandoned house. Looks a little more modern, but just as abandoned. Right across the road from those old houses, those ruins, we find where you can buy some local pottery and some fry bread. And that's right in there. Now, this is actually about all we're going to be able to see of Laguna. Most of it's sectioned off because of the coronavirus. They're not allowing non-native people in there. You can see right there the town of Old Laguna down in that little hillside area. But that's the closest we can get right now. Hopefully it'll open back up one day and you can get a little closer view. But for now, it's a fun little spot. Not a lot here, but it's very quaint. And it's a great jumping off point, as I said, for Route 66, which is going right along there, and that's where we're going to go drive now. A couple of miles west of Laguna in New Mexico, on Route 66, I found this old abandoned adobe building and several structures next to it. It looks so awesome. Look at how awesome that is. I don't know, there's just something about old buildings, old ruins that are just so appealing. When I think of Route 66, I typically think of course, the road, that cool looking road with the Route 66 marked on it. And I also think of old towns and old businesses. But along the way, there's also some really cool things you can see also besides just that. Here I was driving and I'd spotted these cottonwoods and I really liked the shape of that bigger one. So I stopped, I pulled over and I stopped and I got out my cameras and I went and photographed this. Look at how awesome that looks. This of course is the fall time I'm doing this video. It's the first week in November and these cottonwoods are just perfect. Look at that. Just perfect. So I've been spending a few minutes here photographing this, listening to the traffic go by, but just really enjoying this site right here. This happens to be just west of Laguna in New Mexico, just a mile or two west of it, and we of course are on Route 66.